spark to light my way. I wanna give out, I wanna give in. This is our crime, this is our sin. But I still believe, I still believe. Through the pain and through the grief, through the lies, through the storms, through the cries, and through the wars. Oh, I still believe. Flat on my back, out at sea, hoping these waves don't cover me. I'm turned and tossed upon the waves. When the darkness comes, I feel the grave. But I still believe, I still believe. Through the cold and through the heat, through the rain and through the tears, through the crowds, and through the cheers. Oh, I still believe. I'll march this road, I'll climb this hill, upon my knees if I have to. I'll take my place upon this stage. I'll wait till the end of time for you like everybody else. Woo! On my own, walking the streets, looking at faces that I meet. I feel like I wanna go home. What do I feel? What do I know? But I still believe. Through the shame and through the grief, through the heartache and through the tears, through the waiting and through the years. For people like us, in places like this, we need all the hope that we can get. Oh, I still believe. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is me, Seth, and I am back with the Branch Brothers podcast. Let's get the call going with my good friend and co-host Rick, and we can get things started. Yes, here we go.
Hello there.
Hey, good evening to you.
Good evening to you as well. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing good. I found a place to apply to today where I might actually have an advantage in working with them.
Ew. Is it Qualcomm again?
No, no, it's actually called the Home of Guiding Hands. They provide services to people with developmental disabilities. But here's the thing, because I have services through the regional center, they might, and because the Home of Guiding Hands actually partners with Regional Center, people at Regional Center might be able to represent me and make a case for my employment at Home of Guiding Hands as their software integration specialist.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Um, what exactly is that?
So, Regional Center is a state run entity that
No, no, no,
provides
no, not that. I meant the job. Like, what did you say the job was again? A software or something?
software integration specialist. Basically, I would be their IT guy and looking at how to integrate software into the tools they use.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Yeah, I don't want to like distract things too, but I figured just briefly describe that part. We could save the more in-depth behind the scenes stuff for the to be continued podcast.
Yes, yes. Now, last we left off, we were near the end of the 10 plagues of Egypt. I know you are still doing Whispers of Mary. What should we do first?
I'm actually not doing Whispers of Marriage today. I'm actually gonna be doing a different talk.
Oh, what'd you have in mind?
So, as you probably know, this week is Holy Week.
Yes,
This week represents the final week of Christ's ministry, Christ's time on this earth before he entered into his passion.
yes. Yesterday
And
was Palm Sunday.
and today is well, Holy Monday. That's there's no other name for it, just Monday. Yeah. So basically, between this and Tuesday, Jesus was mainly just talking with, having some conversations with the Pharisees. Probably the last couple times before the Passion. We got Spy Wednesday, which is when Judas works of the Pharisees betray Jesus. We have the Last Supper on Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Saturday, and then finally we conclude with Easter. But there's one thing I want to note about the Holy Week that's super important. This is actually the week when the I don't know if it's here, but this is actually the week where the devil is at the busiest and at the peak of his work.
Really?
Yeah, the reason for that is because, as you and I both know, or as we Christians know, the devil's time is over. Ever since Christ entered his passion and came back from the dead, that marked the end of the devil's power over the world. Because from that point going forward, it would begin the path where people can once again be fully restored and the image of likeness of God, not just being his beloved creatures, but become his beloved children. And unlike the devil and all the fallen angels, we as Christians have an opportunity to be reunited with God once again in the way things used to be. We could be redeemed and they cannot. So because of that, his goal since then, and the demon's goals per se, is to prevent as many people from being saved as possible, which is basically the opposite of God's goal, which is to save as many souls as humanly possible. And Holy Week in particular is known for being the most turbulent week because this is when the devil and the dark forces go overdrive to try to prevent people from either converting into the faith or from being one with their faith. This is especially important because, in the Catholic Church, to get the initiation complete on Easter Sunday when the new converts fully enter and become one with the Catholic Church. And typically around this time, not just Catholics, but many Christians have a lot of like troubles during this week. Spiritual warfare, son in financial troubles, family hardships. It's like with this week in particular, don't get me wrong, it's an awesome week, a wonderful week, a culmination of our faith, really the reason why we have this faith in the first place. But it also could be a great challenge for many Christians because this is in many ways when our faith is put to the test.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, so I just want to leave. I know this talk's a bit short in my usual conversations, but I will say this. During this week, one, um, mourn and celebrate. Mourn the tragedy of the passion, but also know that because of the passion that we are here today and we can live the lives that we can, but also to stay vigilant, to stay on guard, to just watch out for things. Because you never know when things can happen, either in the physical world that we can touch and see, or even the spiritual realm, which we can glance at. And then third and lastly, don't forget to pray. Not just for yourself, but for your family, for your friends, your coworkers, your other loved ones, and yes, that includes your enemies as well, because
Yes.
even they're going to need prayers during this time. Just remember. And it reminds me of a TikTok I saw from a guy named Jonah Wiley, where a bunch of Christians came together, and they were up against like LGBT activists, climate activists, racial activists, what have you, political factions, and they're about to go to battle. But then in the middle, God actually stops saying, "Whoa, don't fight them." And he goes, "Lord, what do you mean?" And he goes, "Those aren't your enemies. Those are your future brothers and sisters who haven't converted to the faith. Yes, they are against you now, but that's because they are lost. They don't know what they are doing. Your enemy is not flesh and blood. It is with it is the devil as evil forces, with the powers and principalities. That is who your foe is. That is whom you should fight."
Amen to that.
All right, and with that, I know this talk's a little brief, but that concludes my speech.
I was about to ask something, but I think I will save it for the to be continued podcast instead. All right.
Very well then.
Last we left
Before we
off.
continue, I got to do one quick thing. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. I will just get into the Bible reading, and when you get back, whatever. Where did
Sorry
I?
about the delay. I forgot to bring my Bible. I just had to get that real quick before I get started, so I can read along while you're reading.
Ah, perfect. So last we left off, the ninth plague ended, and the 10th plague had been announced. We left off at the beginning of Passover.
Yes, that's correct.
Now,
Chapter 12 specifically.
yes. Now the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, "This month shall be your beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak to all the congregation of Israel, saying, On the 10th of this month every man shall take for himself a lamb, according to the house of his father, a lamb for a household. And if the household is too small for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next to his house take it according to the number of the persons. According to each man's need, you shall make your account for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You may take it from the sheep or from the goats. Now you shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month. Then the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it at twilight. And they shall take some of the blood and put it on the two doorposts and on the lintel of the houses where they eat it. Then they shall eat the flesh on that night, roasted in the fire with unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Do not eat it raw, nor boiled at all with water, but roasted in fire, its head with its legs and its entrails. You shall let none of it remain until morning, and what remains of it until morning you shall burn with fire. And thus you shall eat it, with a belt on your waist, your sandals on your feet, and your staff in your hand. So you shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Egypt on that night, and will strike all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. Now the blood shall be a sign for you on the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be on you to destroy you when I strike the land of Egypt. Now, some of you might be asking, Seth, Rick, God is all powerful, so why would he need them to put blood on the door to recognize that they are his followers? Because this puts this puts the cooperation in Israel's hands. It shows who is willing to part themselves from Egypt's gods and the land of Egypt and worship God as he truly is, as opposed and those who wish to separate themselves from God. It's not a matter of God having limitations. It's a matter of showing the Israelites the willingness to cooperate with God and his plan.
Right. It's kind of like the metaphor of like the guy driving the car and you're with God. Because some people think it's like, oh, God takes over the wheel, he'll drive for you. No, it's more like you're still driving, but like God is more like your guide who's guiding you where you need to go. And you work with him to get to your destination.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I want to bring up is that earlier you mentioned the lintel on the door. This is actually very significant because you know how like a mailbox is actually like your last name on it?
Actually, it just has numbers, but yes.
Yeah. So, well, some mailboxes have names or on the door. So basically, what the lintel is basically has the person's family name on the thing. It's actually meant to signify who that person is in the land of Egypt. It's also a sign of like Egyptian citizenship in many ways. So by killing a lamb and putting it on the lintel, it does two things. First, you're killing an animal that is sacred to the people of Egypt because they actually worship the lamb. One of their gods is based on the lamb. So by doing that, you're essentially mocking one of their gods. And number two, by putting that blood on the lintel, you're basically saying, from this point forward, I am not an Egyptian anymore. I don't want any ties to your people, to your culture, to your false religion. I want no ties to any of that. And that's a pretty clear signifier that yeah, it's over. And notice because even to this day they found like a door from that time period. The lintel with the name was still on there. It was an Egyptian household, of course, but like yeah, it was a pretty big deal. Like this is basically the equivalent of like um except like a married couple filing for divorce, where it's like one partner is like, nope, this is it, it's over. We'll not be together anymore. And this is on a much more macro scale because basically the like I said, the Hebrews saying to the Egyptians, we're done. We are done. No more.
Yeah. So this day shall be to you a memorial, and you shall keep it as a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. You shall keep it as a feast by an everlasting ordinance. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. On the first day you shall remove leaven from your houses. For whoever eats leavened bread from the first day until the seventh day, that person shall be cut off from Israel. On the first day there shall be a holy convocation, and on the seventh day there shall be a holy convocation for you. No manner of work shall be done on them, but that which everyone must eat, that only may be prepared by you. So you shall observe the feast of unleavened bread. For on this same day I will have brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore you shall observe this day throughout your generations as an everlasting ordinance. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month at evening, you shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at evening. For 7 days no leaven shall be found in your houses, since whoever eats what is leavened, that same person shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he is a stranger or a native of the land. You shall eat nothing leavened in all your dwellings. You shall eat unleavened bread. I just realized I don't have the YouTube feed up. Please let me fix that really quick.
That's
There
good. I
we
have the Twitch
go.
stream. Oh, perfect. There you go.
Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said to them, "Pick out and take lambs for yourselves according to your families, and kill the Passover lamb. And you shall take a bunch of hyssop, dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the two doorposts with the blood that is in the basin. And none of you shall go out of the door of his house until morning. For the Lord will pass through to strike the Egyptians, and when he sees the blood on the lintel and on the two doorposts, the Lord will pass over the door and not allow the destroyer to come into your house to strike you. And you shall observe this thing as an ordinance for you and your sons forever. It will come to pass when you come to the land which the Lord will give you, just as he promised, that you shall keep this service. And it shall be when your children say to you, 'What do you mean by this service?' that you shall say, 'It is the Passover sacrifice of the Lord, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt when he struck the Egyptians and delivered our households. So the people bowed their heads and worshipped. Then the children of Israel went away and did so, just as the Lord had commanded Moses and Aaron, so they did. The 10th plague, death of the firstborn. And it came to pass at midnight that the Lord struck all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sat on his throne, to the firstborn of the captive who was in the dungeon, all the firstborn of livestock. So Pharaoh rose in the night, he, all his servants, and all the Egyptians, and there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was not a house where there was not one dead. The Exodus. Then he called for Moses and Aaron by night, and said, Rise, go out from among my people, both you and the children of Israel, and go serve the Lord as you have said. Also take your flocks and your herds as you have said, and be gone, and bless me also. And the Egyptians urged the people that they might send them out of the land in haste, for they said, We shall be dead. So the people took their dough before it was leavened, having their kneading bowls bound up in their clothes on their shoulders. Now the children of Israel had done according to the word of Moses, and they had asked from the Egyptians articles of silver, articles of gold, and clothing. And the Lord had given the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they granted them what was requested. Thus they plundered the Egyptians. Then the children of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 men on foot, besides children. A mixed multitude went up with them also, and flocks and herds, a great deal of livestock. And they baked unleavened cakes of the dough which they had brought out of Egypt, for it was not leavened, because they were driven out of Egypt and could not wait, nor had they prepared provisions for themselves. Now the sojourn of the children of Israel who lived in Egypt was 430 years. And it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, on that very same day, it came to pass that all the armies of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt. It is a night of solemn observance to the Lord for bringing them out of the land of Egypt. This is that night of the Lord, a solemn observance for all the children of Israel throughout their generations. Passover regulations. And the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, This is the ordinance of the Passover. No foreigner shall eat it, but every man's servant who is brought for money, when you have circumcised him, then he may eat it. A sojourner and a hired servant shall not eat it. In one house it shall be eaten. You shall not carry any of the flesh outside the house, nor shall you break one of its bones. All the congregation of Israel shall keep it. And when a stranger dwells with you and wants to keep the Passover to the Lord, let all his males be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it. And he shall be as a native of the land, for no uncircumcised person shall eat it. One law shall be for the native born, and for the stranger who dwells among you. Thus all the children of Israel did as the Lord commanded Moses and Aaron, so they did. And it came to pass on that very same day that the Lord brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt according to their armies. The firstborn consecrated. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Consecrate to me all the firstborn, whatever opens the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and beast, it is mine. The feast of unleavened bread. And Moses said to the people, Remember this day in which you went out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, for by the strength of hand the Lord brought you out of this place. No leavened bread shall be eaten. On this day you are going out in the month of Abib, and it shall be when the Lord brings you into the land of the Canaanites and Hittites and the Amorites and Hivites and the Jebusites, which he swore to your fathers to give you, a land flowing with milk and honey, that you shall keep the service in this month. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day there shall be a feast to the Lord. Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days, and no leavened bread shall be seen among you, nor shall leaven be seen among you in all your quarters. And you shall tell your son in that day, saying, This is done because of what the Lord did for me when I came up from Egypt. It shall be as a sign to you on your hand, and as a memorial between your eyes, that the Lord's law may be in your mouth. For with a strong hand the Lord has brought you out of Egypt. You shall therefore keep this ordinance in its season from year to year. The law of the firstborn. And it shall be, when the Lord brings you into the land of the Canaanites, as he swore to you and your fathers, and gives it to you, that you shall set apart to the Lord all that open the womb, that is, every firstborn that comes from an animal which you have. The males shall be the Lord's, but every firstborn of a donkey you shall redeem with a lamb. And if you will not redeem it, then you shall break its neck, and all the firstborn of man among your sons you shall redeem. So it shall be when your son asks you in time to come, saying, What is this? That you say to him, By the strength of the hand of the Lord brought us out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh was stubborn about letting us go, that the Lord killed all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrifice to the Lord all males that open the womb, but all the firstborn of my sons I redeem. It shall be as a sign on your hand, and as a frontless between your eyes, for by strength of the hand of the Lord brought us out of Egypt. The wilderness way. Then it came to pass, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God did not lead them by way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For God said, Lest perhaps the people change their minds when they see war, and return to Egypt. So God led the people around by the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea. And the children of Israel went up in orderly ranks out of the land of Egypt. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had placed the children of Israel under solemn oath, saying, God will surely visit you, and you shall carry up my bones from here with you. So they took their journey from Succoth, and camped in Etham, at the edge of the wilderness. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, so as to go by day and night. He did not take away the pillar of cloud by day, or the pillar of fire by night, from before the people. Oh, that's interesting. I thought that was when they were wandering in the wilderness for 40 years.
Well, yes, that is correct, but it actually first shows up here, right as they're about to, cross the Red Sea, and then it will continue to be with them up until they enter the Holy Land.
Oh, okay. Now the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, that they turn and camp before Haroth, between Migdol and the sea opposite Baal-zephon. You shall camp before it by sea. For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel, They are bewildered by the land, the wilderness has closed them in. Then I will harden Pharaoh's heart, so that he will pursue them. And I will gain honor over Pharaoh and all of his army, that the Egyptians may know that I am the Lord. And they did so. Now it was told the king of Egypt that the people had fled, and the heart of Pharaoh and his servants was turned against the people. And they said, Why have we done this, that we have let Israel go from serving us? So he made ready his chariot and took his people with him. Also he took 600 choice chariots, and all the chariots of Egypt with captains over every one of them. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh king of Egypt, and he pursued the children of Israel. And the children of Israel went out with boldness. So the Egyptians pursued them, all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh, and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them camping by the sea, beside Haroth, before Baal-zephon. And when Pharaoh drew near, the children of Israel lifted their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them. So they were very afraid, and the children of Israel cried out to the Lord. Then they said to Moses, Because there were no graves in Egypt, have you taken us away to die in the wilderness? Why have you so dealt with us to bring us out of Egypt? Is this not the word that we told you in Egypt, saying, let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians? For it would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness. And Moses said to the people, do not be afraid. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will accomplish for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you shall see again no more forever. Then the Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your place. Oh, you shall hold your peace. And the Lord said to Moses, why do you cry to me? Tell the children of Israel to go forward, but lift up your rod and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. And I indeed will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them. So I will gain honor over Pharaoh and all his army, his chariots and his horsemen. Then the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have gained honor for myself over Pharaoh, his chariots, and his horsemen. And the angel of God who went before the camp of Israel moved and went behind them, and the pillar of cloud went from before them and stood behind them. So it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. Thus it was a cloud and darkness to the one and darkness to the other. And it gave light by night and to the other, so that the one did not come near the other all that night. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea into dry land, and the waters were divided. So the children of Israel went to the midst of the sea on the dry ground, and the waters were a wall to them on their right hand and on their left. And the Egyptians pursued and went after them into the midst of the sea, all of Pharaoh's horses and his chariots and his horsemen. Now it came to pass in the morning watch that the Lord had looked down upon the army of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and the cloud, and he troubled the army of the Egyptians, and he took off their chariot wheels, so that they drove them with difficulty. And the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fights for them against the Egyptians. Then the Lord said to Moses, stretch out your hand over the sea, that the waters may come back upon the Egyptians, on their chariots and on their horsemen. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea. And when the morning appeared, the sea returned to its full depth, while the Egyptians were fleeing into it. So the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. Then the waters returned and covered the chariots, the horsemen, and all the army of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. Not so much as one of them remained. But the children of Israel had walked onto dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall to them on their right hand and on their left. So the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians die on the seashore. Thus Israel saw the great work which the Lord had done in Egypt. So the people feared the Lord, and believed the Lord and his servant Moses. The Song of Moses. Then Moses and the children of Israel sang this song to the Lord, and spoke, saying, I will sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and its rider he has thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. He is my God, and I will praise him. My father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his army he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. The depths have covered them. They sank to the bottom like a stone. Your right hand, O Lord, has become glorious in power. Your right hand, O Lord, has dashed the enemy in pieces. And in the greatness of your excellence, you have overthrown those who rose against you. You sent forth your wrath. It consumed them like stubble. And with the blast of your nostrils, the waters were gathered together. The flood stopped upright like a heap. The depths congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My desire shall be satisfied on them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. You blew with your wind, the sea covered them. They sank like lead in the mighty waters. Who is like you, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like you, glorious in holiness? Fearful in praise, doing wonders. You stretched out your right hand, the earth swallowed them. You in your mercy have led forth the people whom you have redeemed. You have guided them in your strength to your holy habitation. The people will hear and be afraid. Sorrow will take hold of the inhabitants of Philistia. Then the chiefs of Edom will be dismayed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling, will take hold of them. All the inhabitants of Canaan will melt. Fear and dread will fall on them. By the greatness of your arm, they will be as still as stone. Till your people pass over, O Lord, till your people pass over. Whom you have purchased, you will bring them in and plant them in the mountains of your inheritance, in the place, O Lord, which you have made for your own dwelling, the sanctuary, O Lord, which your hands have established. The Lord shall reign forever and ever. For the horses of Pharaoh went with his chariots and his horsemen into the sea, and the Lord brought back the waters of the sea upon them, but the children of Israel went on dry land in the midst of the sea. The Song of Miriam. Then Miriam the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took the timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her, with timbrels and with dances, and Miriam answered them, Sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and its rider he has thrown into the sea. Bitter waters made sweet. So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur. And they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. Now when they came to Merah, they could not drink the waters of Merah, for they were bitter. Therefore the name of the place was called Merah. And the people complained against Moses, saying, What shall we drink? So he cried out to the Lord, and the Lord answered him the Lord showed him a tree. When he cast it into the waters were made sweet. There he made a statute and an ordinance. Statute. He made a statute and an ordinance for them and the air. He tested them and said, If you diligently heed the voice of the Lord your God, and do what is right in his sight, give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of the diseases on you which I have brought on the Egyptians, for I am the Lord who heals you. Then they came to Elim, where there were 12 wells of water and 70 palm trees, so they camped there by the waters. Bread from heaven. And they journeyed from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came into the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after they departed from the land of Egypt. Then the whole congregation of the children of Israel complained against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said to them, Oh, that we had died by the hands of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the posts of meat, and when we ate bread to the full. For you have brought us into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. Then the Lord said to Moses, Behold, I will rain bread from the heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain quota every day, that I may test them, whether they will walk in my law or not. And it shall be on the 6th day that they shall prepare what they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. Then Moses and Aaron said to all the children of Israel, At evening you shall know that the Lord has brought you out of the land of Egypt, and in the morning you shall see the glory of the Lord, for he hears your complaints against the Lord. But what are we that you complain against us? Also Moses said, This shall be seen when the Lord gives you meat to eat in the evening, and in the morning bread to eat. For the Lord hears your complaints which you make against him. And what are we Your complaints are not against us, but against the Lord." Then Moses spoke to Aaron, saying, "Say to all the congregation of the children of Israel, 'Come near before the Lord, for he has heard your complaints.'" Now it came to pass, as Aaron spoke to the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of the Lord appeared in the cloud. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "I have heard the complaints of the children of Israel. Speak to them, saying, 'At twilight you shall eat meat, and in the morning you shall be filled with bread. And you shall know that I am the Lord your God.'" So it was that the quails came up at the evening and covered the camp, and in the morning the dew lay all around the camp. And when the layer of dew lifted, there on the surface of the wilderness was a small round substance, as fine as frost on the ground. So when the children of Israel saw it, they said to one another, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. And Moses said to them, "This is the bread which the Lord has given you to eat. This is every man This is the thing which the Lord has commanded. Let every man gather it according to each one's need, 1 omer for each person, according to the number of persons. Let every man take for those who are in his tent." Then the children of Israel did so, and gathered some more, some gathered more, some less. So when they measured it by omers, he who gathered much had nothing left over, and he who gathered little had no lack. Every man had gathered according to each one's need. And Moses said, "Let no one leave any of it till morning." Notwithstanding, they did not heed Moses. But some of them left part of it until morning, and it bred worms, and stank. And Moses was angry with them. So they gathered it every morning, every man according to his need. And when the sun became hot, it melted. And so it was on the 6th day, that they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for each one. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. Then he said to them, "This is what the Lord has said. Tomorrow is a Sabbath rest, a holy Sabbath to the Lord. Bake what you will bake today, and boil what you will boil, and lay up for yourselves all that remains to be kept until morning." So they laid it up till morning, as Moses commanded, and it did not stink, nor were there any worms in it. Then Moses said, "Eat that today, for today is a Sabbath to the Lord. Today you will not find it in the field. 6 days you shall gather it, but on the 7th day, the Sabbath, there will be none." Excuse me.
You are excused.
Now it happened that some of the people went out on the 7th day to gather, but they found none. And the Lord said to Moses, "How long do you refuse to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for the Lord has given you the Sabbath, therefore he gives you on the 6th day bread for 2 days. Let every man remain in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day." So the people rested on the 7th day. And the house of Israel called its name manna. And it was like white coriander seed, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. Then Moses said, "This is the thing which the Lord has commanded. Fill an omer with it, to be kept for your generations, that they may see the bread with which I fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you out of the land of Egypt." And Moses said to Aaron, "Take a pot and put an omer of manna in it, and lay it up before the Lord to be kept for your generations. As the Lord commanded Moses, so Aaron laid it up before the testimony to be kept. And the children of Israel ate manna for 40 years until they came to an inhabited land. They ate manna until they came to the border of the land of Canaan. Now an omer is 1/10 of an ephah. Ephah? Ephah?
I think EPAV is right.
17. Water from the rock. Actually, we are at 45. How long is this? Not very long. We'll do it.
Yeah, let's finish this chapter and we can call it here.
Then all the congregation of the children of Israel set out on their journey from the wilderness of Sin, according to the commandment of the Lord, and camped in Rephidim. but there was no water for the people to drink. Therefore the people contended with Moses and said, "Give us water that we may drink." So Moses said to them, "Why do you contend with me? Why do you tempt the Lord?" And the people thirsted there for water. And the people complained against Moses and said, "Why is it you have brought us up out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our livestock with thirst?" So Moses cried out to the Lord, saying, "What shall I do with these people? They are almost ready to stone me." And the Lord said to Moses, "Go on before the people, and take with you some of the elders of Israel. Also take in your hand your rod with which you struck the river, and go. Behold, I will stand before you there on the rock in Horeb, and you shall strike the rock, and water will come out of it, that the people may drink." And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. So he called the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because of the contention of the children of Israel, and because they tempted the Lord, saying, is the Lord among us or not?" And that brings us to the end of our reading today, chat.
Woo. And we'll be back next week for more adventures in the Exodus.
Yes. Now, I will set this down. I believe it is time we roll into worship.
All right, let's rock it. See you guys soon.
All right. There we go. I will activate the display. We will open up the worship folder. Yeah, you know what? Let's do On Eagle's Wings. You who dwell in the shelter of the Lord, who abide in his shadow for life, say to the Lord, my refuge, my rock, in whom I trust, and he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. The snare of the fowler will never capture you, and famine will bring you no fear. Under his wings, your refuge, his faithfulness, your shield, and he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm to guard you in all of your ways. Upon their hands they will bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. And he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. And hold you in the palm of his hand.
That was On Eagle's Wings. Our second song for worship is going to be Shepherd of Souls.
Shepherd of souls, refresh and bless your chosen pilgrim flock with manna in the wilderness, with water from the rock. We would not live by bread alone, but by a word of grace, in strength of which we travel on to our abiding place. Be known to others in breaking bread, but do not then depart. Savior, abide with us and spread your table in our heart.
Oh, guess we have the short version on audio. Okay. That was Shepherd of Souls. Our third worship song is going to be... Where did I put it? These are alphabetized. I should know where everything is. Onward, Christian Soldiers.
Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Christ the royal master leads against the foe. Forward into battle, see his banner go. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. At the sign of triumph, Satan's host doth flee. Onward, Christian soldiers, on to victory. Hell's nations quiver and at the shout of praise. Brothers, lift your voices loud, your anthems raise. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Like a mighty army moves the church of God. Brothers, we are treading where the saints have trod. We are not divided, all one body we, one in hope and doctrine, one in charity. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Like a mighty army moves the church of God. Brothers, we are treading where the saints have trod. We are not divided, all one body we, one in hope and doctrine, one in charity. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Onward then, ye people, join our happy throng. Blend with ours your voices in the triumph song. Glory, laud, and honor unto Christ the King. This through countless ages men and angels sing. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty God. Revelations 19:14-15. That was Onward, Christian Soldiers. Our fourth and final song for worship is going to be A Mighty Fortress is Our God. A mighty fortress is our God, a bulwark never failing. Our helper he amid the flood of mortal ills prevailing. For still our ancient foe does seek to work us woe. His craft and power are great, and armed with cruel hate. On earth is not his equal. Did we in our own strength confide, our striving would be losing. We're not the right man on our side, of the man of God's own choosing. We ask who that may be. Christ Jesus, it is He, Lord of hosts, His name, from age to age the same, and He must win the battle. And though this world with devils filled should threaten to undo us, we will not fear, for God has willed His truth to triumph through us. The prince of darkness grim, we tremble not for him. His rage we can endure, for lo, his doom is sure. One little word shall fell him, that word above all earthly powers. No thanks to them abideth. The Spirit and the gifts are ours, through Him who with us sideth. Let goodness and kindred go, this mortal life also. The body they may kill, God's truth abideth still. His kingdom is forever.
His kingdom is forever.
His kingdom is forever. His kingdom is forever. His kingdom is forever. A mighty fortress is our God, Jesus Christ, eternal word. Mighty fortress is our God, Jesus Christ, eternal word. A mighty fortress is our God, Jesus Christ, eternal word. A mighty fortress is our God, Jesus Christ, eternal word.
His kingdom is forever.
And that was A Mighty Fortress is Our God. I will close us in prayer. We will break, and then we will find somebody to raid, and then we'll go on break, and then we'll be back with the To Be Continued podcast. Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our transgressions, as we forgive those who've transgressed against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, always and forever. Lord, help me do what is right in your eyes, not simply what is right in the eyes of man, that I may be your good and faithful servant until the day you see fit to call me home to your eternal kingdom. Help me overcome the sinful nature I have been cursed with, and if it is not for me to overcome, then overcome in my stead, that I may lead a life honoring you and the sacrifice you made upon the cross, when you bore the world's sins to save us from damnation and eternal hell. We know that you love us, O Lord. Help us love you as much as you love us. In your name I pray. Amen. I want to thank you all again for tuning in tonight. I will be back with the To Be Continued podcast in a bit. Our raid message is going to be God be with you. Now, who is live that we know?